Now this is just plain evil. I mean, I don't really know how else to describe this. In Pennsylvania, there is an epidemic, an actual pedophile ring. Okay.
Of priests.
300 priests. I don't know how many priests are in Pennsylvania, but I can't imagine more than like 1,000. I mean, I don't know what's the number, but what is that? 30%? That's a whole state. And it kind of pisses me off because you're seeing a lot of people, all these conspiracy theories about like satanic pedophile rings, like this QAnon and Pizzagate and all this shit. Alex Jones goes off. He says like the world is run by satanic pedophiles. Bro, look at your own fucking church. This is the most evil shit I've ever heard in my life.
Yeah.
How can you talk about Pizzagate when the Catholic Church is literally a satanic cult? When you have 300 priests systematically abusing kids in Pennsylvania, everybody in that organization knows it's happening. Everybody. The priests, the bishops.
That's part of the stories that they were covering up for.
But how are they? And am I supposed to believe that they're not all participating? How can you let that evilness slide in the church? Like their whole thing is community and serving God and so how am I supposed to believe that over the course of many decades you can have that many pedophile priests, you're covering up and you're moving them around, and you're not all in on it? Not just covering it up.
Who is all in on it?
Everybody.
What do you mean?
Everybody. If 30% of the people that work for you are fucking kids, like what reason do you have to keep that system moving? If you find a pedophile, you kick him out and you apologize. When you have 300 and you're covering them up, you're perpetuating a system that you probably want to keep going. I think there's a lot more of these guys fucking kids than just the 300.
Yeah.
And it's just so funny and ironic to me that people will go slander and say dangerous shit like Pizzagate and
basically make up stuff.
QAnon and all this shit, say Obama's a pedophile.
When you have this right here.
Like, and the shit that you're going to hear is going to make your crinkle. I mean, this is really evil stuff. So just prepare for it. I mean, this is shocking. Do I sound like a conspiracy theorist? Like, I'm basing it on something.
Well, I'm not sure. What are you?
Everybody's in on it, bro.
Everybody?
The fucking everybody. The whole church. Not the people, not the congregation, but like all the priests, the bishops.
Well, yeah.
I don't know how high
300.
The Pope? I don't know. The Pope? People were saying, what was the last Pope that resigned? That never happened. People speculate that he was fucking kids and he didn't want it to come out. Imagine the Pope is raping children and you're talking about Pizzagate. What? Do you really... That it makes me think. Do you really care about kids or is it just a political attack?
Yeah.
Dude, this shit is so upsetting.
Dropping numbers about child sex abuse by priests. It found credible allegations exist against more than 300 priests and that more than 1,000 child victims were identifiable. What is worse, because of lost records or fear of coming forward, it is likely the true number of victims is deep into the thousands.
Sure.
So Gene Casares has been working this for us. And Gene?
Tens of thousands, most
tell
likely.
Me more.
Massive investigation, and it was with countless numbers of law enforcement, prosecutors, other attorneys within the Office of the Attorney General, and of course the grand jurors. Officials are saying that this report is the largest, most comprehensive document into child sexual abuse within the Catholic Church that has ever been produced in the United States. This report took 2 years. It was written by 23 Pennsylvania grand jurors who listened to dozens of witness testimonies and witness
is
and
just
studied
in the state
documents
of
about
Pennsylvania.
alleged child
Yeah,
sex
well.
abuse in 6 dioceses, which involve 54 of Pennsylvania's 67 counties. The report states that the testimony was heard from dozens of witnesses and 500,000 pages of internal documents were subpoenaed. It also states that there were credible allegations found against over 300 priests. Over 1,000 child victims were identifiable, but it's believed that the true numbers are
Way
in the
more.
thousands.
Way more
The report
priests,
states
way
that
more
most of the
kids.
victims were boys, but girls were also victims. Some were teens, some were younger, some were manipulated with alcohol or pornography. They were raped in various forms and fashions. And grand jurors found that church leaders in every part of the state preferred to protect the abusers and their institution above everything else they
Listen to that. Every part of the state, every part of the institution, every single time, that's a church policy to protect the institution at the cost of the abusers, perpetuating a system. It's basically, what exactly does the Catholic Church do except rape kids? I mean, what exactly would you say you do, Catholic Church? Are you enjoying that tax exemption? I'm disgusted. I'm repulsed. Like, I think it's time to close it down. I think it's time to lock shop up on that church. Imagine any other fucking... I mean, I'm really upset. Imagine Scientology, which I fucking despise. Imagine any organized religion being like, oh, yeah, sorry, we raped all your kids.
You don't need to imagine with Scientology.
Yeah, but I'm saying, imagine this scope of, like, all the kids are being raped in Scientology.
Yeah, watch the A&E series.
All right, bad example.
You don't need to imagine.
Yeah, okay, bad example. They're all fucked up. But what exactly do they do there? Why are we giving them a tax exemption? I mean, this is evil, you guys. This is just actual evil. It's like all the weird conspiracies you hear about Pizzagate and like weird child sex torture and basements is happening in the Catholic Church.
Yeah.
Wait till you hear
they
this.
say, because the cover-up was most important of all.
These petitioners.
Is Alex Jones ranting about this? I don't know. Maybe he is. I hope he is. That'd be pretty weird if he wasn't. I don't know how you can bring up Pizzagate or QAnon and not this all day. I don't know how you can't talk about this all day if you care about pedophilia.
And for a time, some of the dioceses sought to prevent the entire report from ever seeing the light of day. In effect, they wanted to cover up the cover-up. They sought to do the same thing that senior church leaders in the diocese we investigated have done for decades. Bury the sexual abuse by priests upon children and cover it up forever.
The report states that because of the
Okay. Let me
cover-up,
finish this.
almost all of the abuse is too old to be prosecuted.
You like
That's
that?
the
The
worst
grand jury
part
has
about it.
issued presentments against 2 priests who
So
were
out of the 300,
300 plus.
they covered it up for so long that these guys have passed the statute of limitation and can no longer be charged.
Except for 2.
I mean, that's a criminal organization that knows what it's doing, folks. Right? Round of applause to these guys. Let's give them tax exemption. Let's make sure they never have to pay taxes. It gets crazier. Here, let me read some facts here I've got about this. This is a quote from one of the victims. George claims that the priest began taking photos of him on a camera. All the priests giggled, so there's many priests involved in this one location. Then added photos of him to a collection of other teen boys. According to the grand jury, these men and another priest were part of a ring of predatory priests that raped children, shared intelligence on potential victims, and manufactured child pornography in parishes and rectories. This group of priests used whips, violence, and sadism in raping their victims. Reads one line in nearly 900 pages of documents. Hello? Is the whole world talking about this? I mean, I know people are talking about it, but Dan just looked. He said nothing on InfoWars about it. I mean, the story's a couple of days old, but like, hello? This is kind of insane, you guys.
Yeah.
And this isn't just the United States. There's crazy in Argentina, in Ireland. There's huge stories about child abuse.
Mm-hmm.
It's like pedophiles are literally just joining the organization. Are we shocked? Sadism. Whips, violence, and sadism. And raping. Systematic raping. What?
I wonder if religious people, after hearing this, would still send their kids to whatever it is they're sending them to.
I don't know. It's a good question. It's the Catholic Church. I mean, it's the Catholic Church. The Pope. Where does the buck stop? Where's the buck stop? Who's taking responsibility for this? Are we as a society taking responsibility for this? That our kids and our citizens and our fellow citizens, our children, are being raped. And the guys who did it are being covered up for so long that they can't even be charged. These guys are chilling, dude.
Mm-hmm.
They're at our local parks, and I'm being serious. What was I saying earlier? Serious as what?
As a school shooting.
I forgot what it was. Thank you, Dan. This world is so fucked, you guys. Why are we not Pizzagate? We have if you imagine being this fucked. There was an email about a handkerchief with a pizza and upside down. It looks like a pedophile. Are you fucking kidding me? Let me read this again. The group of priests use whips, violence, and sadism in raping their victims. But at the handkerchief upside down, why aren't you talking about this, genius? You don't need any more fucking evidence. My skin is crawling.
And there's more in like the details of what they've done. It's horrible. It's even just horrible to read.
The report said the men here. This is so fucked, dude. If you can top sadism, I mean, this is part of the sadism. Report said that the priests gave a specific gift to children they favored, something they could wear that would mark them as prime targets for abuse. He said, they told me that they, the priests, would give their boys, their altar boys, or their favorite boys, these crosses, George told the grand jury. So he gave me a big gold cross to wear that marked him, so all the other priests knew he was fair game for abuse. Can I get another look at that handkerchief? There's no need for conspiracies, guys. This is as fucked as anything your imagination can comprehend. Almost every instance of abuse we found is too old to be prosecuted. Here's some more highlights. In Greensboro, a priest impregnated a 17-year-old girl, forged a pastor's signature on a marriage certificate, and divorced the girl months later. Another priest in Greensboro groomed middle school students for sex, according to the grand jury, by telling them that Mary had to bite off the cord and lick Jesus clean after the nativity. Well, what does QAnon have to say about
What the fuck?
Well, never mind this. I can't wait to see what Obama and George Bush and Bill Clinton and Hillary Clinton. Let's hear more about their sex ring. In Harrisburg, a priest abused 5 sisters from the same family and collected samples of their urine, pubic hair, and menstrual blood. This is like, you've seen that show, True Detectives? How it's like so sick and twisted beyond imagination? This is real. Nothing. You know the phrase "stranger than fiction."
Mm-hmm.
Can't make this shit up.
Yeah.
In Harrisburg, a priest raped a 7-year-old girl who was in a hospital after her tonsils were removed. In Pittsburgh, this is just the highlights that they got.
Yeah.
And this is just one state, one area.
In Pittsburgh, church officials said that a 15-year-old boy pursued and literally seduced a priest. Church officials, that was their statement in defense of the priest, that a 15-year-old boy pursued and literally seduced a priest. Well, I guess that clears that up. A church report later acknowledged that the priest had admitted to sadomasochistic activities with several boys. Are you sick yet?
Yes.
I feel like people forget about this. Everyone's just like, oh man, there goes the Catholic Church again. I'm ready to lock it up. I don't think these guys, their library card is being revoked. What's going on? This is the most evil shit I've read. In Allentown, a priest admitted sexually molesting a boy and pleaded for help, according to documents, but was left in ministry for several more years. Priest rapes a child, he begs for help, and they leave him there for several more years.
It's so horrible. It's like, what do you even say? What?
I want to see action. Because we've been talking about this shit for like decades.
Mm-hmm.
And it's just getting worse and worse. Here, this is a wonderful one. In Allenstown, a priest who had abused several boys, according to the grand jury, was given a recommendation to work at Disney World by the church. They conveniently left out the part where he was a convicted child rapist. Would this priest be good? Can we get a reference for his job at Disneyland? He's going to be in a Mickey Mouse outfit, taking photos with kids. Great guy, loves kids, really, really loves kids. Great with kids. Highly recommend.
Well, and he wasn't convicted, right? None of these guys.
Well, the church knew.
Right.
No.
It was known to them.
Yeah,
but-
that's too old.
Right.
And Scranton, isn't that where the office is?
Sure is. The Electric City.
Mm-hmm.
Oh my God. A priest who was later served prison time for abusing children was found to have been HIV positive for years. Like he would fucking care. According to CBS, a Pennsylvania grand jury report investigating the matter states the church officials gave a former priest a positive reference to work at Disneyland, even though officials fielded at least one allegation about a sexual abusing a boy. The report says he worked at the theme park for 18 years, driving the train to the Magic Kingdom. Well, isn't that a nice little analogy?
It's pretty creepy.
All aboard the ride to the Magic Kingdom. His favorite ride? Peter Pan.
Oof.
Where boys never grow up.
Yikes.
You know, this reminds me when I was a kid in my neighborhood, there was like a religious neighbor that I guess they had like a I don't know what you call it, where you go to like classes when they teach you they talk about the Torah and they teach you.
Mm-hmm.
So like on Saturdays, they would tell all the kids in the neighborhood to come and that they give popsicles.
Mm-hmm.
So I remember wanting to go, and my dad was like,
He knew
Don't
something
go.
was up?
"You're not going to this stuff." Because like, now that I think about it, it's pretty weird. Why are you inviting kids and giving them popsicles?
Why do you want all the kids over there?
Yeah,
With like this irresistible invitation.
yeah.
Oh, yeah. It's so easy to be deviously hide behind religion. That was really slick of your dad, by the way.
Yeah.
I wonder if people knew or if he just had an insight. Or if he had an
My
intuition.
dad was always very paranoid about this stuff, and for a good reason.
I mean, it's so ironic, obviously, that like under the guise of God and this whole institution of Christ
Yeah.
is the most evil shit. We all agree in this society. Everybody agrees. Like child rapists are like the worst, right? We all agree. Somehow. I mean, at this point, if you give your kid over to the church, I mean, you're pretty much taking a crapshoot.
Pretty much.
There's like a really good chance they're going to get molested. Fuck. That shit really, I don't know, man. It just pisses me off because there's all of these stupid fucking conspiracies that are ruining with like so little evidence that there's no evidence. It's a total conspiracy that are fucking with people that have nothing to do with this shit, and they're ignoring.
It's making a joke of the serious actual.
Well, they're just using it as political attack, and it can't be more obvious than this because they're not talking about the church, but somehow Obama is a pedophile. Hillary Clinton's a pedophile. Okay.